Alrighty, there we go. We are live, ready to build a little PC today. This is actually the first ITX PC I've built that isn't in like a tiny, small form factor case. So this should be pretty fun. What up, Bull Moose? We are live, confirmed. Yes, sir. So yeah, this is kind of an interesting build. So we've got most of the interior is going to be white. So we've got a white motherboard, white CPU cooler. We've got the white power supply. Got one extra white fan that we'll put in there. Then we've got our black GPU, and then it's all going inside of a Matcha Green case from Thermaltake. And then he actually bought the cool stand from Thermaltake, so the case is actually gonna like sit at an angle on its side. It's gonna be super cool looking. Yo, Lunar, how did it go, man? What up, Richard? Welcome in. All right, yeah, so today's build, we've got a Ryzen 7 9700X. We've got a 1 terabyte going in today. The customer also has a 2 terabyte, so we're probably gonna install the 1 terabyte on the back of the motherboard, just so it's easy for him to access the front one and put his 2 terabyte in there. It's not quite as ideal putting the OS drive on the secondary slot, but it'll be fine. Got 48 gigs of RAM, 5070 Ti, got a nice little 240 millimeter RGB AIO, 850 watt power supply, and then again the Tower 250 from Thermaltake in Matcha Green. It's gonna look really cool. Yeah, dude, send me some pics. Works great. Hey, I love to hear that. What up, Mean Dean? Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting looking build. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I've never built in these little tower cases from Thermaltake, so I think it's gonna be a fun experience today. Well, look at that. Look how small this thing is. It's so tiny. It's so tiny and cute. We're just getting right into it. Oh, you got the 7600X 3D from what's it called? Micro Center? I think that's like the only place you can get them. Okay, we got Wi-Fi antenna. I might actually just keep this box for all the extras so that he has an easy spot, because this is for a local customer, so this will make it super easy for him to carry all of his extras. Ended up getting everything from Micro Center. It was more convenient. Yeah, it's super convenient for sure. Especially like if you live near one, you can just go there. Totally worth it. What up, Zeno? Yeah, this is a sweet little gaming PC. Look how cute it is. It's so tiny. All right, normally we would do the CPU first, but since we're gonna put the SSD on the back, we're gonna do that first. It looks like we do need a bolt out of here. Need this little guy. Don't think we'll need those, but we'll grab them just in case. You're building your own gaming PC soon? Nice. All right, let's get our 1 terabyte SSD in here real quick. So yeah, normally I would put the main OS drive on the front, but because the customer didn't have his the second SSD, which is like currently in his other PC, ready, we're just gonna install this in the back side. You shouldn't really have any realistically not much difference in performance. But it'll make it a lot easier so that like when he goes to install his secondary drive, all he has to do is take this little heatsink off and he's got access to put it in. So should be super simple for him. But you know, not totally ideal, but not the end of the world. Bot knows what's up, that's all right. All right, 1 terabyte going in. think you bricked your motherboard. Not sure what happened. Cleaned some paste out of the socket. No bent pins. Oh, shoot. That sucks. There we go. There's our nice little drive on the back. Now, let's get our CPU installed. That's a great choice. I use that 2 terabyte a lot in builds as the secondary drive. Some people get it as like they just want a 2 terabyte and nothing else. So I'll use it in that case as well. But most people, we end up doing a 1 terabyte main and a 2 terabyte secondary if they've got the budget for it. All right, 9700X, boom, done. Before we put that on here, let's take a look at the mounting for this NZXT. I don't know if it uses AMD's like built-in brackets or if it's got its own thing. So let's just take a look there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty frustrating, man. Hopefully you can figure something out for it. Okay, don't need that right now. Don't need those cables right now. What do we have for AMD? Okay, so it's got its own bracket. Yep. So, there we go. AM5 is gonna go that way. Okay, so we just gotta put in some bolts, and then this is gonna go onto the CPU cooler block with some of those thumb screws. Got those to tie down the radiator and everything. That's what we need for now. Yo, what up, B-Rad? Appreciate that, man. Won't be related to this topic, but I wanted to ask you what phone brand. I currently have an iPhone. I used to get a free phone from work for several years. So when I left that company, I just stuck with iPhone because I didn't feel like going through the effort of swapping back to Android because it's just so easy to transfer from old iPhone to new iPhone. So it says AM5, stick these up. Look at that. And this goes right through there. Do I need a video editor? No, I have one right now. What up, Aman? I'm doing good. Drink some water? I got some right here. Got a 1 terabyte Evo and the 2 terabyte. Oh, that's perfect, dude. That's perfect. It's so nice having multiple drives. That way, like if something goes wrong with your operating system or whatever, you can just like wipe it and reinstall and you don't lose all of your data on the secondary drive. It's 100% the way to go. All right. Where'd my other 2 standoffs go? There they are. It's weird that they say AM5 needs to go this way and AM4 goes the other way when AM5 and AM4 use the exact same mounting. I don't know why they do that. Unfortunate Irishman or Hacker News just wants to buy non-smart appliances. Is having a hard time finding them. Appliances like home appliances, like washer and dryer and type stuff, or what are we talking about here? I don't have anything like smart in my home. Except for we have some cameras in like the kids' room and stuff, but that's it. All right, those are all installed. We're good to go. We can get our RAM in here now. Built your own as well? Nice. Building PCs is fun, man. I very much enjoy it. Just gonna let it sit for a week. Let all the gremlins drain away. Yeah, it could be like the alcohol is causing some weird interactions. Would it be fine to get the 1 terabyte, then add the 2 terabyte later down the road? Absolutely. Yeah, especially if you install Windows on your 1 terabyte and stuff, and then you just add your 2nd terabyte whenever you have the money or whatever. Totally acceptable to do that. Okay, there we go. It's everything that goes on this little motherboard. It's nice, it's cute. Alrighty, let's get our case out here. This thing is cool, man. Ooh, the Thermaltake Tower 250. What is the best way to take this apart? Nobody knows. Alrighty, keep that there for a minute. Guessing taking the top off is probably the best way to get all of the side panels off. So we've got a couple of pre-installed fans on top. We're gonna throw one more in down there. Does this just come out? Yep, okay. There's the side panel out. Other side panel out. I don't think we're gonna need access from the sides, but it never hurts to have a little extra working room. And these are taped on. Okay, so that should just come out now, right? Oh, it's got tape in the center too. I didn't even see that. Can I get through that tape? Guess not. There we go. A little tighter to get out than I thought it would be. All right, well, there's a lot of panels, so we got them all out. And there we go. That is the start of our build. Let's start with the extra case fan that we're gonna put in there, because that's gonna bolt in right here. So I'm guessing, I don't even know what this is for. It's got an extra little, I think that's if you buy the screen. So you can actually buy an LCD screen for right here. So this is a replacement panel, so that if you buy that screen, that panel just, or the screen just mounts to the back of this. Okay, so there's all of our bolts. Okay, I do see some bolts in there for that. And then this, I think we're going to have to, yeah, that's going to be for our power supply, since we're using an ATX power supply and not that one. And then this guy, I don't know what that's for. Let's take a quick peek at the manual here. If I switch cases in the future, the Thermaltake Tower will be your go-to. This thing is really cool, and they make bigger ones too. This is one of the smaller ones. Let's see what it says. Front bottom panel, yep, got that right. ATX bracket, yep, got that right. There's no mention of this other filler panel. So, yeah, it's interesting. Don't know what that's for. Really doesn't mention it in here so far. It might be that it also goes with this. It's not quite the same size. Not really sure. Doesn't say. But I'm sure we'll find out when we get there. You know? All right. Shouldn't need any more of that right now. Just need this. You're building a similar rig? Oh, nice. Is it optimal? I mean, it's a great case design for a small build. Like it's got good airflow. It can hold, you know, a good size radiator. It can hold a very big GPU. There's definitely nothing wrong with it. You're on this side now. Love it. 9800X3D, 9070XT, 1000 watt power supply, 32 gigs. That's great, dude. That'll be a solid build. So we've got 2 RGB ports up there. We've only got 2 fan headers. This one has a daisy chain, so we'll likely have to daisy chain this to the fans that are already pre-installed in the case, and then we'll use that for one fan header, and then we'll use the other one for the CPU fan header, which is the one next to it. Cause yeah, that's what we got. Front USB. Front panel's that one there. I feel like that front panel is backwards from what it normally is. Wonder if that's actually the case. Let's check. Multilingual installation guide. This is more looking at guides than I've done in a long time. This doesn't look like it's going to go into any sort of detail. Yeah, it is flipped, so if I look at it from this direction, I'll have LEDs, power switch, HDD. Okay, yep. Cool. All right, let's get this fan in there now. Probably put it on this side, huh? Do we want to go down, or do we just want to go straight through? We can go down. Go down and out the back for now. So that's going to sit there like that. Here's our 4 bolts for this fan. Why does that feel cross-threaded, bro? Maybe they paint over the threads? Yeah, they must paint over those threads because that feels really tight. Deep cool case. Yeah, we can't get deep cool stuff here anymore. Unless it recently changed. US cannot get deep cool stuff. go. That's in there real good. Okay. Now, lay this down. Swap back there. Yeah, I love deep cool stuff, so it's pretty sad that we don't have access to that anymore. And then this needs to mount this way, which is sideways from normal. I'm gonna actually rotate this so it's easier to reach everything. Okay, there we go. That's set inside of its thing there. And then let's double check what bolts they want us to use, not that one. It seems like it needs a different bolt in this corner because of that. Motherboard. Yeah, motherboard's using these little squarish looking ones. So I need those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I need those guys. This must come, that motherboard must come with a long bolt for that, I assume. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we're only gonna use 3 of those, and then we're gonna use one of these. So this little cover here makes that hole really long. So they actually give you bolts for it. It's that one. Okay, so let's start with that one. Okay, that's definitely started. That one's definitely started. You're not in America, you're in New Zealand? Nice. I have a buddy in Australia, but he says like PC part prices are really expensive over there. I don't know if it's the same in New Zealand. Okay, that one's tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. And that one's tight. All right. So we got all that. Shouldn't need any more of these bolts. Don't think. How many bolts holds this guy in? 4. How many bolts are holding that one in? 4? Okay, we're good. I might actually switch to that. Normally I would be busting out Lazy Susan right now, but this is such a small case, it might be easier to actually use, to just move it around rather than putting it on Lazy Susan. Does that particular model support ATX? This model particularly does not support ATX. They have a larger tower model that does support like micro ATX and one that supports ATX motherboards, but not in this small form factor. Okay, so there's that. Before we get too far and forget about it, let's pull this shroud off, or this faceplate off. So it comes standard with a SFX power supply plate here. Oh, let me switch you guys over. You guys are on the wrong scene now. So it comes with an SFX power supply adapter built in, but it supports ATX, so we just gotta swap that out. So take that guy out of there, put this guy on there, like that. I'm just realizing. Do I need to put the power supply in first? Can I slide it over here? I think we can slide the power supply in over there. It'd probably make more sense to just push this power supply through first though. That's probably the easy way to do it. So I guess let's just leave that off for now until we're ready to put our power supply in. Let's just keep it simple for ourselves. Okay, we'll just put that there. Let's get some more water. Yep, ITX board today. All right, so we got all of our IO stuff here. All right, so here's all of our IO cables. Where are those all gonna go? So let's start with the usual. We'll get our HD audio out here. There's front USB. Oh, we have another power. Oh, there's our fan one, okay. Oh, that's HD audio right there. So we're gonna run this guy right up here. There's our HD audio. Yeah, I don't want to run it this way necessarily because that's right where the GPU is. Don't love that that's kind of visible, but that's kind of where they put it, so not really much else we can do there. All right, let's go front panel here. It's gonna come out there, do a little 90-degree turn on it. It's nice that it's a single front panel cable, so I don't have to think about it. USB 3 is gonna go just past that. Right over here. Just like that. And USB-C is gonna go right here. See if we can guess which direction it goes, because it's really hard to tell. Yep, just like that. Okay. So there's all of that built in. I'm doing good, Andy. How are you? Rytech, dude, I miss you too. Yo, thank you for the gifted sub, Rytech. What up, hobo? I'm doing good, man. How are you? I know, I have not even played. It's not like I've been like playing in secret and haven't told you. I literally just I have not touched my gaming PC and played in, shoot, it feels like a month now. It's crazy. All right, so here is our cable for our system fans. So that's that right there. We're gonna daisy chain in to this. So we just have one cable going to the motherboard. And then we need one of these fancy little guys to actually connect to the header on the motherboard. It's just like a 4-pin to 4-pin adapter, but it goes from a really small connector to a larger one. And then that guy is gonna come out right over here. Just like that. Okay. Now we gotta hook in our RGB from here. It's gonna go there. Like that. We could go down from the same spot. I think it might look a little cleaner if we go from the same hole there. Right, Tech, how have you been, dude? What's going on? How's streaming and Nvidia's treating you right now? Okay, so everything so far that's in here is connected. That's all in there. Can route that stuff back through these nice little cable channels they've got for us. And this guy, we're gonna do the same sort of thing over here. Probably throw a zip tie on these guys a little later so they stay nice together. We can deal with that once we get all of our cables in here. Okay, so there's all that. It's all in there. You're working a lot. Streaming is growing even though it's super part-time, making videos when you can. Nice, dude. Yeah, you're working a lot right now. Okay. All that stuff is in and connected. We can look at our CPU cooler stuff. Oh, I guess there is really good access back here to this secondary drive port. I'm kind of tempted to actually move this to the primary one, and I'll just show him when he comes to pick up the PC how to get to this one, because that's really easy. Like that's, you take this panel off, you take that little plate off, and you're done. So I think we're gonna do this the right way, and I'll just leave this little bolt here for him. Kind of learning as we go here. I've never built in this case or any of these little Thermaltake Tower cases before, so you gotta bear with me just a little bit. My goodness, how am I supposed to fit my finger in there, yo? Okay, here we go. Hang that for a second. Get off me. Go in the trash. Okay, so got that. Get that off. There we go. Now that's in there. Tuck that back a little bit. Okay. Well, we can now put this guy back on. Okay. When are we gonna see Red Rye games again? Probably pretty soon. I think my schedule is getting a little bit more open, and then later this month my wife is gonna be gone for a couple of weeks, so I should have a lot more free time to do fun stuff. Okay, what do we got here for cables? There's a lot of stuff in here. All right, so this guy does many things. So this is gonna go to the CPU fan port. This is gonna go to our two fans. This is gonna go to the case, or the motherboard, I mean. The one that I blocked off earlier. Go that way? No, go this way. Okay, so that's in there. So I don't even think we're gonna need this hub. This would be like if they had extra fans and stuff. I think everything is just gonna get controlled directly via this connector. All right. Or does this go in here? It just has 3 RGB ports. What the heck does this connector go to? Does this go to the block? Oh, that must go to the CPU cooler block itself. Okay. All right. So let's run this guy up to the CPU cooler block. Like so. All right, and then now all we need to connect in to that are fans for the radiator and then power via SATA. We don't need a splitter. We shouldn't need this, assuming that the fans connect into this somehow. If the fans don't connect into that, then we do need to use that splitter. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander here. Nope, those have RGB headers on them. So that is so funky. Okay, so I guess the first USB 2 that we connected in is strictly for the CPU cooler block, which has a display on it. And since we only have one port to our name here, gotta take that out. Gonna put this splitter in here. Sorry, I'm blocking the entire visual here, but that is seated. Okay, so now this one for the CPU cooler block is gonna go in here. And then this one for the fan RGB. It's kind of a funky setup, if I'm being honest. It's gonna go here to this other one. Okay, so it's gonna go like that. And then I think we're gonna leave that as is for now. And we'll get our power supply in there. See what kind of space we still have left after that. I think we can mount our controller up here if there's room. Oh, it's magnetic? Oh, heck yeah, we can just put it right there. Okay, power cables. Power cables, power cables, power cables. Sorry, if you guys don't watch The Office, that's gonna blow right by you, but. Shifting more towards 50-50 work in Rytech. Hey, let's go. That's what we love to hear. Yes, this is the same guy as Rytech Gaming on YouTube. Dude, the case is really sweet, I'm not gonna lie. I've never built with this one or any of the same like model series as this, but I really like it. Okay, there's all of our cables. Power supply bolts. We don't need the power cable right now. My resolution is awful. It's 1080p. Maybe your resolution is messed up on your thing. It might auto to something lower. So I'm at 1080p and pretty high bit rate. You might want to check your phone settings there on the app. Okay, CPU power cable. We need one of those. We don't need that. We're gonna need one. We're gonna need two SATA cables, connectors. And that we need that. Don't need that. Okay, I think these both have the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't matter. Just gotta pick one. This one is caught. There we go. Don't need those. Looks super HD to me. That's right. Check yourself. Descriptive, you're building a new PC yourself? What do you got going on in it? All right. CPU power up in this top right, left corner, depending on how you're looking at it. Top right corner if you're looking at it straight up and down. I'll route that out the back. Like so. Okay. So that's going to go down through there. It's going to go down through there. I think ideally we can skip it through this little spot down here. Oh, did I go around that? Let's go on this side of it. Okay, so that's there. It's gonna go into our power supply down at the bottom. Let's do something similar with our motherboard power here. This one should have a simpler routing path because it's gonna go, I think can we stick these guys under here? Yep. So those guys will go down below. This guy is gonna stick through there. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, so that's now sitting in here, ready for the power supply. And now, figure out this one here, which I think we can go through the side on this side. I don't think it necessarily matters which way we go. I think we'll go, let's see, GPU power is gonna definitely be on that side. There's a lot more space on this side. I think we just go on this side. So that's gonna go through there, stick out like that. And then same thing here for the GPU. It's gonna go through this side here, into the power supply, and out. Okay. Is there a sticker on that? It kind of looks like there is a sticker on here. This is the Tower 250. I think the Tower 300 lets you have a bigger motherboard. This one only supports ITX. Okay. So, point it this way so you guys can see what we're doing here. There's a lot of kind of random cables in the way still, but I'm gonna feed all of these through so I can plug them in. Oh, no, yeah, let's do that. Let's point it the right way first. Feed that one through. It's gonna go there. Feed these big dogs through. It's gonna go there and there, like that. And SATA power, gonna feed through here and go right there. Okay, that's all plugged into the power supply. So now we just scooch that on back a little bit. Now we can put this cover plate back on. Is that covering holes there? Oh, I think we want it this way. They're still using, I guess like no matter what we do here, we don't use all those holes. We can get 1, 2 on the bottom this way. And what about this way? Got 1, 2 on the bottom. So it looks like either way, we're only going to be able to utilize the bottom holes to hold this power supply in, which is fine. It's got a tray that it's resting on. You don't really need to do much, but kind of surprising from Thermaltake there. When you typically stream, make a point to stay up by evenings, no schedule really? Yeah. He's usually on pretty soon though. Stealth mode, no RGB, B650 gaming, 7800X3D, Arctic Liquid Freezer, Intex Flux 850, 96XT. I love that build descriptive. That sounds great. Personally, 9070 XT over the 5070 Ti. Get a little bit more performance for a little bit less cost, but everyone has their own opinions, I suppose. Is there a hole in this back plate for the power cable to go through? There is. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, got all that stuff in here. This GPU power cable is gonna come out. I might have to come back out the bottom. I don't actually know where that's gonna end up going, to be honest. Okay. Guess we should bolt the power supply in though. 7 GB video in the wrong aspect ratio? No! Why is that guy not lined up? Does this have a specific orientation it's supposed to go in? Maybe not. Let's bolt the power supply to it and see how it looks. Not gonna lie, I'm getting a little toasty right now. Okay, so we got that in there. There's that power cable. That. Okay. We'll throw a zip tie up there to hold that together. And then we've got the power cable from this guy. We also need to connect over here. And once we get our CPU cooler block in, I'll have a better idea of where this guy can go, where he'll live in the long term. But as of right now, I just don't know. All right, so let's get our CPU cooler in here, and that will answer most of our questions. So let's scooch that on over. Get our bolts here for it. What pre-build would you recommend for 1K or 1200? I've got a gamer PC on the website. So it's got like an RTX 40 or 5060. It might need to be updated, but I would say like 1200 bucks, RTX 5060 with like maybe like a Ryzen 5 7500F, something like that. Okay, I think we set this up as so the GPU is going to be intaking, CPU is going to be exhausting, and then we have intake at the bottom, exhaust at the top. So the airflow is generally going to go from like down here and out this way. I think that's going to be our best bet. So with that bolted in there, I want the tails of the fans to be on this side. Yep. So tails of the fans over here. Let's put those on. Yeah, I mean, I have some pre-configured PCs that you could look at, but also, I mean, yeah, just go to my website, redneckengineer.com. It's in the description, and you can just fill out the custom build form with like, here's what I'm looking for, here's what I can spend, all that sort of information, and I can customize one to you for your budget. That's definitely a good way to go, especially if you're in the US. Yeah, I mean, even the like pre-builts on my website are still, you know, there's nothing different about how I build them, so you're still gonna get good quality stuff. The last build I posted was fire. Thank you. What up, Atulia? Yo, I am sweating right now. Not because I'm scared or anything, it's just hot in here. Thank you for the likes, Richard. Appreciate that. Okay, so that is all in there. I need these little bolts. That, don't need that. What up, he guess? Hi, guess. Okay. This cable's nice and straightened out. Okay, so that's all good to go. Let's stick it sideways here. These fan cables and go through that. Sometimes it's just a little bit easier to push these through at the start. Okay. Okay, that was nice and tight. There we go. Ooh, it's right up against that port there. I think we're good right there. Yeah, we have access to all the bolts. Okay. Switch that stuff all the way out of the way over there. All right, so now that's all installed. It's looking good. Those cables are hidden even better than I thought they would be, which is great. And then I want to figure out the best orientation for this. I mean, I think something like that would be pretty good. And then this cable, the only problem is that cable, I don't want it to go there. I guess let's get the AMD bracket on here. That might limit our orientation a little bit. I guess it doesn't, because I can put it on whatever direction I want. That's kind of ideal where I want it to be. I guess I can snake that cable over here if it reaches, which I don't know that it will. No, it kind of needs to come from this side. So this cable that goes to CPU cooler block is a little limited. And it can really only come from this side because of the length to go to the CPU fan header. So really I want this guy pointed in some direction where it's accessible. I think maybe up is a good direction here. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. So with that up, I want these guys to be, this guy to be sideways. Like that. So that goes just like so. And that cable is gonna come right across and hook in. Okay, so we're good there. Let's get our thumb screws out. Slick looking build. Hey, thank you, Charlie. It's definitely coming together. Okay, that's gonna hold it in place. Okay, so there's all that. And this guy is gonna connect in right here. Okay, there's the click. And that just goes and hides in the back. Just like that. Look at that. Like it was meant to be. Okay. All right, now that stuff's all connected in, we got to figure out our cable management a little bit because we kind of let it go to crap here. So this guy's gonna come over and across and hook into here. That. This guy is going to go up and up and across. It's just the same way. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. We'll tighten these up on this little cable management point there. For the fans, those just need to hook in right here. Like so. So that's all good. That. Run them back up on themselves. Up through here. Just like that. Okay. Now we've got this power cable. It's actually pretty long, so we're just gonna run that out and along under here. Back to this side, like that. Then we'll run that further up, I think, if we can. Oh, maybe we shouldn't. Okay, got that nice and tucked in. Now we just have these guys here, which I think we still have more room on the left, but this guy kind of should go to the right. Okay, like that. That's looking a lot tidier, huh? I think. Now that we've got that in there, we can figure out how we want to fold these back on themselves. Something like that. Okay, got that through. I can grab it. There we go. Just like that. Then we can tuck this back behind here, like so. Okay. I mean, honestly, just for ease of like, if this thing ever has to be worked on again, not having any cable ties or zip ties back here is honestly really nice. So I think, even though it might look a little crowded and kind of not super like a tight bundle back there, I think, you know, if I ever have to work on this again, it'll be really nice to have it be, you know, less, you know, fewer cable ties all around and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Okay. What do you guys think about that? Does that kind of make sense, and why I don't want to throw a bunch of zip ties in there for no reason? My face cam light just went out. Tons of bad luck today. Oh no. It's a Matcha Green is what they call it. And he actually bought, the Thermaltake makes a like a stand for these, so it actually is gonna sit like this at an angle like that on a stand. It's super cool. It's a matching Matcha Green. It's gonna look incredible. He shipped the stand directly to me. I mean, he's a local customer, but he shipped the stand directly to me so that I can take pictures and stuff with it, because it's gonna look so cool. I think Height and Thermaltake are battling it out to see who can have the most color options. Dude, you're not wrong. That is terrible luck though, right, Tech? What up, Vishnu? Just gotta move your cam right on your forehead like Nick Merckx. There you go. Okay, so let's get our GPU. That's literally the last thing to do, is get our GPU out here. and we'll get it mounted, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna route the GPU power cable. I will say the one downside I'm seeing to this case is because of the ITX motherboard and stuff, all of your, even like your external cables actually have to like route into the PC. So like your HDMI DisplayPort cable that you put into your GPU, you're actually gonna have to route them through the back of the case, which is kind of unfortunate. So there's a gap here on this piece. So all those cables are gonna route back through here and into the motherboard and stuff. Not necessarily ideal, but I mean, it is gonna look really clean. It'll make it look super clean, but if you're changing up your setup a lot, then it's not ideal. I'm doing good, Ahmad, how are you? Oh, this side. We don't need any of the extra anti-sag stuff for this because there's nowhere to put it. So we'll take it out of here and put it in the box. So we won't be utilizing any of it because it doesn't fit in this case. And it's also sort of vertically mounted, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Box before I step and trip on it. Okay, 5070 Ti coming out, coming in hot, coming in hot. Ugh. Those stickers did not need to be that hard to get off. Oh yeah, that's a big boy. Gonna take up all that space. Soldier. Yeah, if Lian Li made custom colors like this, man, ooh, that'd be sick. All right, so normally I would leave all these in here, but I don't know that you'll be able to pull them out once this thing's in the case. So I'm gonna pull all these port covers off. Okay. So here we go. This is a very weird way of doing this. Ooh, it's kind of scary. I know I'm in the slot there. Come on. Why? This little tiny piece here is like not wanting to fit through there. That's what it feels like. Okay, that's fully seated. It just looks kind of funky the way it sits there, but that is fully seated. The latch closed, no click, but the latch is closed. Let's get these guys in here. And I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, Redneck, why didn't you go with a white GPU? Because I can't find any. I had this one in stock. I couldn't find a white GPU for less than like $1,300 or $1,200 versus this one, which was very shy of $1,000. And I told the customer that I was like, hey, I can give you a white GPU, but it's gonna cost this much, or I can give you the black GPU that I have in stock, and it's like $300 less. What do you want to do? And he said, black's fine. So there we go, ladies and gents. What do we think of that? What do we think of that? Yeah, there was definitely no way this cable was going anywhere but there. Can throw some panels back on it to make it look sexy. And this was just an extra fan I had in stock, like sitting in the back. Since he didn't order a fan for the bottom, I just threw one in there so that it would look good. Yeah, it's a Gigabyte, is it the WindForce? It's the Gigabyte WindForce OC 5070 Ti. Pull his plastic off for him. Just like that. We'll leave that panel off. Put these side panels on. Imagine they're identical. Yep. Those just magnet in, nice, like that. Just like that. And the back. Like so. Just like that. So you got access to your power there. And then we'll put the top on to really seal the deal here. Boom. Take a look at that. Check that out, you guys. Honestly, the black GPU doesn't even look bad because it's so tucked into the corner. It's almost like it's just not there. Like you almost can't see it, you know? Take a look at that. How's that? Poggers, that's right, Chris. Had a bad experience with the H1. Such a hassle to build in. Is that the Thermaltake case, H1? Honestly, I mean, like, it is definitely a little bit more work working in a small case like this, but it really wasn't bad at all. Is this better than the NZXT H1? I have not built in the H1, so it's kind of hard to say. But this was honestly really nice to build in. Like, you definitely need to make sure that what you're putting in there is gonna fit, but this was pretty nice to build in, I'm not gonna lie. What do we think of that, chat? What do we think? Hunter, this is a customer build. So somebody custom ordered this. He actually picked out about, I would say 90% of the components in this build. And then I made some suggestions as far as power supply, RAM, and SSD, but like CPU cooler, case, what style of GPU he wanted, the motherboard, all that sort of stuff the customer picked out himself. And then I just kind of advised him as to power supply and some other stuff. So yeah, normally I kind of pick all the components and then, you know, quote it, and then customers can, you know, make some adjustments as they, you know, see fit. But this one was pretty much all customer driven. He decided what he wanted in there, and we made it happen. Yes, the 5070 Ti is nowhere near MSRP. Unfortunately, I don't see that changing anytime soon. The tariff situation has gotten a little bit better, but you know, I don't think they're ever gonna get down near MSRP again. All right, y'all. Show me your favorite emojis in the chat so we can show off this build. Favorite emojis in the chat right now. Yeah, I mean, if you set it up right, like the thermals should be pretty solid because power supply is getting its own fresh air and kicking it out the back. GPU's pulling in fresh air here. This case fan here is going to be pulling in fresh air from the bottom. And then you've got these running in exhaust and then 2 fans on top running in exhaust. So you should have a like pretty solid airflow coming in from bottom left and then going out the bottom or the top right. So you should have kind of like this cross airflow kind of going that way. You really shouldn't have any problems. There's lots of open space for air to come in and go out. Yeah, if they cut 50 series production, I mean, the market's gonna go crazy again. Like, it's gonna be terribly expensive for everything. All right, I see some emojis in the chat. First ever power on, we've got a 9700X, 48 gigs of CL34 7200. That's what he wanted. RAM, got an RTX 5070 Ti, 240 millimeter cooler from NZXT. Got the Aorus X870i ITX motherboard. 850 watt power supply from MSI. And then we've got the Thermaltake Tower 250. Currently has a 1 terabyte SSD in it. The customer is going to add in another 2 terabyte when he gets around to wiping that and backing up his data from it. First ever power on, there it is. Look at that. And look, it's right side up already. I don't even have to adjust it. I feel like it's a little dark. I thought we would really set the mood here. That doesn't look too bad, as long as I'm not standing in the middle of the light. How do we feel about it now? That's pretty spicy. Pretty freaking spicy. Yeah, if AMD keeps making their stuff, it'll be hard for 50 series prices to go up a lot. But we saw this last time when they stopped making the 40 series and AMD still had stuff going out. Nvidia prices went crazy and AMD prices started going crazy because all of the AMD stuff went out of stock. So it's tough to say exactly what would happen, but it would not be great. Yeah, those RGB fans on the AIO, like, yeah, it's a pretty cool like little glow inside the case. And that's honestly, it's a benefit of having such a small case, is that just little bit of RGB just really glows and lights up everything inside. I think it looks great. And then we'll, this one is tied into the motherboard, so we'll have to set the motherboard RGB to like white or whatever for the RAM and this case fan. And then these will be run with NZXT cam. That's NZXT's software. Totally, though, what baffles me is that 5070 Ti is still considered a mid-range GPU. Yeah, well, so that's the tough part. When people ask me for like mid-range, like upper range, it's really hard to give a good answer because it depends on what you're looking at. Like if you're looking at 50 series GPUs, yes, 5070 Ti would be like upper mid-range. 5060 Ti 16 gig would be like lower mid-range. 5080, 5090, upper range, you know. But if you look at GPUs overall in terms of what's available, 5060 Ti 16 gig and above, I would consider, you know, above mid-range. Like that would be like a high-end GPU versus, you know, like a 3060 Ti or 4060 Ti at this point you would consider more in like the mid-range. But it's so hard. It's all about perspective, right? Yeah, Tyler, it's a big GPU to put in there, but it fits great. You've got quite a bit more space for the GPU if you needed it. Yeah, I mean that's, and people ask me that all the time, and it's so hard to answer, you know, what a mid-range GPU is, because, you know, what's the person's perspective, right? Also, we should take this stand out real quick. I want to show this to you guys, because this is how it's actually gonna look when the guy brings it home. I don't think there's any brackets. I think it just holds it. I don't think you need to like do anything super special to it. Ooh, new bottom plate. Okay. So here, I'm gonna turn this off real quick, and then I'm gonna show you guys how this is gonna look at the customer's house, because this is gonna be sick. So, what we gotta do here, we have to take these bottom feet off. There's a couple of bolts in there. You guys are gonna love this. It's a matching stand. Like, it's the same Matcha Green. I guess you lose the filter, but that's okay. Oh, really? I honestly, like, either way, I like the look of like a black case with white insides, or a white case with black insides. I think they both look good. You just gotta do it right. Okay, so you take those off. I've never even seen one of these in person before. So you take that stuff off, and you put the cap on. It looks like it just snaps in. Yep, just like this. Dope. Running out of space here. There's a base down there. Yo, what up, Bridgeburg? Dude, we got a really cool little build here. It's a Matcha Green case from Thermaltake. So it's got a little mini ITX board in it. Super cool. Oh, that bottom must have its own filter, I guess. So it's got a mini ITX board, but it's got a 9700X and a 5070 Ti. So pretty high-end gaming system in here. And then the guy bought the fancy stand for it. So it's actually gonna be sitting on its side, which is really cool. Stormtrooper build, love that. What up, Owlcat? Okay, so I guess the only matching part is the actual bottom cap, but the rest of this is still gonna look sweet. Is that the way it goes? Yep. Come on. You're supposed to snap in there. There we go. Whew. It's a little bit harder to push in there than I thought it would be. Oh, I just feel like I'm gonna break it because it's plastic. There we go. Okay. So that goes in there like that. And then we're just gonna go like this. Boom. How sweet is that, you guys? So this is how it's gonna look when the customer takes it home. So we got it mounted this way so the CPU cooler is still above the block. And then it'll also be good for airflow because you want the exhaust to be going, you know, generally up. How freaking cool is that? Let's turn this thing back on. Let's turn this thing back on. I want to show you guys how sweet this thing is. Like, I think it looks great just standing up like normal, but I mean, come on. Come on. Let's turn the light back off. How sick is that? How sick is that, you guys? Yeah, like a time capsule. Dude, I am loving that. Oh, that's scary. It was a red light on the motherboard, but it's the VGA light, which just because we don't have anything plugged in. But that is sexy, you guys. I like it a lot. I really like it. I want it. She's gonna tell the customer, oh, sorry, it got lost in the mail. I'll just make you another one. Don't leave me in a dark room with that build. Things might happen. I know, right? Bro, that thing is so, it looks so good. On the stand, man, that thing looks so good. I think I need to put one of my, do I still have my little redneck stickers for that fan? Yeah, I wonder how well these would fit there. It's a little small. Probably still look pretty good though. I think I might need to do that. Put one of my little RE stickers. Come on. I locked the tracking because it freaks out if I'm not in focus. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So we've got these little stickers. I'm gonna put it on this fan hub here so you don't see the like Thermaltake sticker tag stuff. I think it'll look pretty cool. Dude, this thing is gonna be incredible, Capybara. Honestly, 9700X with a 5070 Ti, really good quality RAM. You know, definitely big enough cooler for that CPU. You would not have any complaints playing any game you could want on this PC. Like absolutely none at all. Yeah, MJ, this is how it sits with the stand. So normally it would sit upright, so it would be like this. But the customer bought the stand to put it on, because why not, right? 7700K / 12400F. Those are very different CPUs. I mean, you'll be able to play games on it, Capybara. How heavy is it? Maybe about 30 pounds, if I had to guess. It's not super heavy. It's chunky, like the build and everything makes it look really chunky, but it's not that heavy. It's not something you just want to pick up and like walk around with, but you know, it won't be hard to like pick it up and move it around if you need to. 7900X 5070 Ti. For IA, what is IA? Also, there's no 5070 Ti Super. That doesn't exist. But yeah, I would not get, Capybara, I would not get anything with a 7700K. A 12400F, sure. You have some upgrade paths there, but a 7700K, don't. Well, not yet. I mean, maybe someday they will, but yeah. And if you're gonna spend that kind of money, get a 9900X. It'll be faster and better, and it's not really any more expensive. This build, let's see. How much was this build? That's a great question. Oops. This build was around 2,600 bucks. So roughly 2,600 bucks built and shipped. Hey, you're welcome, Andrea. Oh, AI. Yeah, I don't know much about what it takes for AI, to be honest. All right, y'all. That's it. We did it. The PC is built. It looks great. It's ready to go. And yeah, time to start putting software on it. Maybe tomorrow. Might try and get home and get some dinner. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. You have a 12400F and a 4060. You want to upgrade the GPU to a 5070. Is it worth it? You should definitely upgrade your CPU if you're going to upgrade to a 5070. Like even if you just got like a 14600K or a 13600K, that would make it worth it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out, chatting, having fun, making the build fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you want to get yourself a build, redneckengineer.com. We've got the custom build form on there where you can get something that's customized to you. We also have the pre-builts on there that you can just add to cart and check out and buy. There's shop pay and everything if you need to do it in installments. And yeah, appreciate y'all being here. We will see you on the next one. We've got another build probably on Wednesday. I think we've got all the stuff here, so come back on Wednesday and we'll have another PC to build. So hope to see you all then. Have a great night. Yeah, 5070 and a 9900X will be great. Definitely no complaints there. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.